asked you if you wanted me to do a really cool fine dining show where I show you how to make restaurant quality dishes with items from your local grocery store. I then proceeded to make you a beer-brined bone-in pork chop with cassoulet and pear mostarda. I showed you how your mirepoix should be assembled. I showed you what should be in your brine. I showed you everything. I showed you how to make a restaurant quality dish. But no, you wanted a hamburger. You wanted a cheesy burger. 7-ounce patties on a brioche bun with cheese and butter and crap and french fries and gravy. I tried to call your bluff. And I asked you in a poll, is that really what you want? Are you sure? And you overwhelmingly said, yes, Papa Melty. Yes, Uncle Melty. Please, give me a hamburger. Put your meat in my mouth. So that's what we're doing today. Because that's what you wanted. Today we're making the official Metal Meltdown Cheeseburger. Cheers. God damn it. I'm just fucking with y'all folks, don't worry. I'm happy to be back. Uncle Melty's Kitchen. Hell yes. Once again, on the Metal Meltdown. How we doing out there tonight? Woo! Yeah! Our studio audience is pumped as ever. Special shout out to our director, producer, camera woman, whatever the fuck she wants to call herself. I like to call her my wife because that's what she is, Mrs. Meltdown. Anna, how are you?
I'm good. I'm ready for a burger.
Not just any burger, though. What kind of burger are you looking forward to having today?
The official Metal Meltdown burger.
That's right, the official Metal Meltdown Cheeseburger. A 7-ounce ground chuck patty with pickles, which I will show you how to make. We're actually going to make our own pickles today. With potato chips, which I will also show you how to make. With a bourbon and caramelized onion mayo, which I will not show you how to make. However, I will share with you the recipe for this mayonnaise. Also with arugula, seared foie gras, and an Italian Kaiser bun roll kind of thing. I don't know, it's kind of half parts Italian bun, half parts Kaiser roll. It's soft and fluffy and delicious, but strong enough to support a good, fat, meaty, greasy sandwich. All right, first up, why don't we start with our goddamn potato chips. What I've got right here, Anna, feel free to move around and show everybody if you like. If not, whatever. I don't pay you, so I guess it doesn't matter. We've got some sliced fucking russet potatoes, paper thin. I'm gonna season them in a moment and place them in the oven at 350 degrees. Really shouldn't take any longer than 15-20 minutes or so. You want them to be cooked all the way through, but you don't necessarily want them to be mushy. You want them to be crispy. Make sure you use parchment paper, make sure you oil your pan, and also make sure you season. I pray to God I don't need to show y'all how to cut a fucking potato. Just wait for one comment to be like, Robert, you didn't show us how to cut the potato. You're an adult, you have a knife, figure it out. Okay? Voila, a little oil. Don't be afraid to spread it around. Don't be afraid to get your fucking hands in there. It's all good. All right, I've got 2 trays of potato chips in the oven. Like I said, roughly 15 to 20 minutes at about 350 degrees. We will adjust time and temperatures as need be throughout the video. Let's move on to our pickles. Over here in this bowl, we have some sliced cucumbers, roughly the size of like a small coin, like a Canadian dollar, if you will. And in this pot over here, we have 750 milliliters of white wine vinegar, 250 milliliters of water, lemon juice, black peppercorns, roughly 2 tablespoons, maybe 3 tablespoons of sugar. I kind of eyeballed it. I'm kind of good at that. Crushed chilies. Did I mention black peppercorns?
I think so.
I think so. I'm going to say it again, black peppercorns. We're going to place the hot liquid here in this bowl. We're going to use this colander to strain out all the peppercorns and chili flakes. This is going to sit for a little while. Feel free to put something on top to add a little bit of weight to make sure all those pickles are fully submerged. Ideally, this is something you would want to leave for a couple of days, but we're doing a very, very quick pickle. These cucumbers are still gonna have crunch and bite, but they're gonna absorb all of that acid and sugar. Ideally, once these have cooled down, you can put them in mason jars or whatever kind of container you want to use, and you would leave them in the fridge for at least maybe 2 days. The longer the pickles sit in the brine out of direct sunlight in a cool, dry area, the stronger a flavor you will get. All right, let's move on to our bourbon and caramelized onion mayonnaise. This right here is the sauce we're using today. This is a sauce of my own creation. I will be sharing you my recipe for this sauce. If you don't have a pen and paper, now's the time to go grab it, folks. The recipe for the bourbon and caramelized onion mayo, or if you prefer, the Metal Meltdown's official Slop That Gob sauce, is 600 grams of Spanish onion caramelized, 150 grams of confit garlic, 3 sprigs of rosemary, 4 fluid ounces of bourbon, any bourbon, whatever. You could also trade this out for beer or white wine or rum or moonshine if you prefer. 1 sprig of thyme, 50 grams of grainy Dijon mustard, and half a liter of mayo. Pretty simple stuff. You're gonna julienne slice your onions, you're gonna caramelize them in a pan, you're going to deglaze that pan with your bourbon, and then you're going to mix all of your ingredients together. And if you don't have, like, say, a blender or a RoboCoupe or something that could cleanly mix everything together, might I suggest, once the caramelized onions cool down, chop them fine with the roasted garlic, and then simply mix everything by hand. Alright, I've shown you how to make the potato chips, and they're starting to look really good in the oven after roughly 10 minutes. I've raised the heat in my oven so I can get things just a little bit extra crispy though. I've shown you how to make our pickles, and they're tasting really nice. They got a nice bite to them, they got a nice little bit of spice and heat to them. I told you also how to make our signature bourbon and caramelized onion mayo. Now it's time, I guess, to move on to the star of the show, the actual burger itself. Right here I have 2 7-ounce ground chuck patties with granulated onion, granulated garlic, salt, pepper, breadcrumbs. Just watch, one motherfucker will go, "Robert, you didn't show us how to roll out the patty." I gotta hold your hand every step of the fucking way? What the fuck?
Figure it out, it's a patty.
Honestly. Unfucking believable. Well, you want me to hold your fucking dick while you're taking a piss too? Like, come on, get your shit together, bud. Come the fuck on. Alright, burgers in the oven. Or frying pan. Voila! We're gonna let those get a little bit of color, then we're gonna flip them. I'm gonna turn down the heat real low on this electric frying pan, put the lid on, and we're just gonna leave it be. We got our potato chips here. You can see the edges are starting to curl up. They're pretty well cooked, but they're not quite crispy. So we're gonna let them go in the oven for a bit longer. We got plenty of time. The burgers only just went in. It's all good. Anna, could you remind me, what's that other very important ingredient that every cheeseburger must have?
Cheese!
That's right! Cheese! Oh my god! Now personally, when it comes to a cheeseburger, I prefer good old-fashioned medium cheddar. And that's what I'm using. Made here in Ontario from St. Albert. Or St. Albert?
Probably St. Albert, since we're Ontario.
Probably St. Albert.
If it's
That makes
Quebec, then
sense.
it's probably St. Albert.
Yeah, that makes sense, come to think of it. St. Albert, whatever. Hey, Saint whoever the fuck, you make excellent cheese. Speaking of, let's see how this is looking. Okay, that's looking pretty good, in my opinion. Hell fucking yeah. Alright, we've got a little cheese for the cheeseburger. I'm gonna raise the heat a little bit, just to make sure that's actually melting, but those are pretty well done. Like, that's it. That's good to go on a bun right now. All of our chips are pretty well ready. They're looking nice and crispy. I'd like some of them to be cooked a little bit more, but hey, slicing is not an exact science. Thicker pieces are gonna take longer. The majority of these are looking good. All of them are cooked all the way through, so that's a win in and of itself.
They're fried potatoes, so they're gonna taste good.
Nailed it. You're so fucking smart. Holy shit. Alright, now for one of my favorite parts, the seared foie gras. For those of you who do not know, foie gras is fatty goose or duck liver. It kind of depends on where you live in the world. Here in Canada, for instance, it's illegal to eat goose because that's the national bird of Canada. So most foie gras here in Canada is duck. Alright, low heat for foie gras, because if you're not too careful, that shit is going to evaporate before your eyes. Let's start assembling the hamburger. I went to open the drawer to pull out a spoon, and there's a spoon here. Alright, we have our bourbon and caramelized onion mayo. Anna loves this shit, so I'm gonna be nice and generous with it. We've got pickles. These pickles ended up being quite acidic, But that's okay, it's gonna contrast nicely with everything else. We're only gonna put a couple though. A fucking cheesy ass burger. Look at that. See, look how much that reduced, folks. That's a fatty little piece of foie gras. We're only gonna put a little bit there. That is going to melt like butter. Voila. Some potato chips. And voila, the official Metal Meltdown Cheeseburger. 7-ounce ground chuck patty, arugula, homemade pickles, seared foie gras, homemade bourbon and caramelized onion aioli, cheddar cheese. What else is on there? It's a Kaiser Italian roll kind of thing. Everyone likes brioche buns for hamburgers. I find them too buttery and soft. They fall apart too quickly. We've also made homemade potato chips. Booyah! Hell yes! And as much as Anna has enjoyed being the director, it's now time for her to be our critic. What say you, Anna? Dig in. Dig the fuck in.
I'm gonna start with one of the chips.
We're gonna start with one of the chips.
That's a really good chip.
Fuck yeah, it is. You're going for the cheesy burger.
Oh, that.
Hell yeah. Is that good?
So good.
Fuck yeah. That was my turn. Those are good chips. And that is a fucking tasty burger. Holy shit. That really is a restaurant quality hamburger. Like, holy crap. Honestly, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. That's one of the best burgers I've ever had. That's awesome. I would pay an absurd amount of money for that in a restaurant. Alright, there you have it. A brand new episode of Uncle Melty's Kitchen. We made the official Metal Meltdown Cheeseburger. I've shown you how to make it. I've told you what ingredients you need. I've even given you special secret recipes. Now it is your turn to go and make this delicious cheesy burger meal. Tag us on the Instagrams. Or, I don't know, Threads, TikTok, whatever this shit. We're not on Twitter, are we?
No.
Fuck Twitter. Fuck Elon Musk, too. Pick up some merch on Redbubble, join us on Discord, and as always, you have yourself a fantastic fucking day, and stay tuned, because we're gonna try to pump these out a little bit quicker in the future. Cheers, y'all. Where's my vodka? There's
Right
my
there.
vodka. I almost drank the mayonnaise. I mean, it would be delicious, but not quite the same.